G'day everyone. Welcome to what is hopefully a fantastic and clear and well-organised recording of another list review from the grouping tentatively referred to as, and they call it a mine, Denny, George, myself, and this time, friend of the show, quote unquote, Connor, who is here to stick it out with us as the host of this week's event. So the event itself is the War in Wharganui 3, Tom and Goldberry's Big Day Out, phenomenal subtitling. And we're going to review all the lists in this free little doubles event happening in the booming metropolis of Wharganui. So without any further, Connor, please tell us all about this event, upon which we will jump into the lists.
Yeah, nice, thanks for having me on once again. Can't get enough of you guys. So it's a 1 day, 3 games, 700 points a side, split into two 350 chunks. There's 5 potential missions that could pop up, and we'll roll for them on the day just to keep things spicy. And I've tried to pick some missions that mean that you actually do get to hang out with your pal that you spend a lot of time building lists for. And actually, work on some of those. No, four exclusively. We all know there's the list writer and the other one. And so, hopefully you get to try out some of those fun synergies that you've schemed up, and otherwise, you're not getting screwed over by Maelstrom the whole time. And Wharganui does have a little bit of a reputation for having a slightly filthy meta. So I'm excited. I'm feeling optimistic about this time round. It's just a 1 day, 3 game thing. It should be pretty chill. So should we get started, guys?
I've heard this before.
Yeah. So our first chilled out, non-filthy list is the Bjorning's Legendary Legion.
Just relaxing back into my chair.
Yeah, nice and chill.
What is that about Wharganui having a filthy meta and this one will be chill?
Yeah, exactly. So should we go over this list? Who wants to read it? Sammy does.
I can. It's a long one, so somebody with a lot of staying power will need to do this one. We've got Bjorn leading 5 Bjornings with axes and 2 Bjornings with axes and great bows, and Grim Bjorn leading 5 Bjornings with axes and 2 Bjornings with axes and great bows. And that is the list. 16 models, 4 bows, 6 models.
Before we jump into the list here, acknowledge why we're not laughing at Jenny putting on various visual effects on his photo. And it's because he's been doing it about for the last 40 minutes straight, seeking attention. Yeah. But I'm glad we can move on from it now.
I've literally done the beer for the beers list. Show some respect.
You've just
the reason why George is in a grump is he's still at work and it's like 10 o'clock at night on a Monday. He's not actually in back in.
Sorry, folks, is this your list? Is it Denny and George? Is this your list?
This would have been our list had George wanted to explore a bit more in his life and not come back to Old Faithful.
Well, how about we save your couples therapy for when it is your list?
Yeah. I'm expecting a lot of this.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's go. So we've got 16 models. So they've maxed out the bows, which is remind me. The deals are you can either have a great bow, or you can just have the dude with a 1.5 axe.
Yeah.
But you can't have both. So the great bow guys don't get burly.
That's a swap.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the only. Yeah, and that's kind of like the only decision that you've really got to make when crafting the list, right?
Literally, yeah.
You could have weapon swapped everything.
True.
Given them all, they've got high strength, so you could give them all maces or staves and do a bit of bashing.
Because presumably each of the lists is 10 points short, right?
Yeah,
it is.
So you could do that.
Yeah. So you are sacrificing 20 points, so you could actually weapon swap someone. You guys thought I was joking, but I wasn't.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think we can weapon swap on a Legion, but I can't be bothered.
Yeah,
you can. That out.
To give someone like a staff or something.
Yeah, we're bashing
with great bow and staff. Because you can't swap the 1.5 for 1.5 staff, can you?
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't swap the bows for anything or the 1.5 for anything.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's exactly what whoever submitted this wanted us to talk about, the list of why they didn't weapon swap to a staff.
I think so.
I mean, that's all we can talk about. That's the only
No,
option.
it does write itself, really. The only
Really?
choice you have, again, is do you actually take bows? Do you max the bows? And I think you may as
And
well.
they haven't maxed the bows, to be fair.
I think
No.
they have with what they.
They've got 7 models, so they could have 3 bows in each half.
Yeah, it's only a quarter bows. But again, yeah, that has to be split half.
You can see me and Denny desperately doing maths, and I hear
I can't figure it out. Like, I mean, let's face it, the Bjornings are irrelevant, right? Like, they're just there. You hide them somewhere in the board so you don't break yourself or whatever, and it's the bears themselves that are doing all of the damage.
Pretty substantial fellas to be irrelevant as well. Really.
Oh.
If the awnings are irrelevant.
Tell them that to their face, Denny.
Exactly. Yeah, the rest of us.
We should comment as well, like, it is very much 2 individual lists, right? Like, in both of these, so a lot of doubles is around, like, can each list survive on its own? Both of these perform pretty damn well on their own, right? Like, they don't rely on each other for synergies or anything like that. So, in that situation, like, it is a very, very strong list.
Yeah, and it's great for doubles as well in terms of, you and your pal are just going to be pushing 2 giant bears around the table, trying to see whose bear eats the most of everybody else's models, and it'll be
you don't have that
thoroughly
double
entertaining.
scenario where someone's got the big model and someone's got a couple of crappy little heroes.
No, exactly. 2 captains or something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, you're on a list that can deal with 1 bear, let alone 2. So
yeah,
exactly. Very strong.
And just to make it extra scary, one of the scenarios is the one where the 2 leaders are competing and the one who's behind gets +1 to wound. So that's just what these guys needed. So you'd be hoping that one doesn't pop up with that strength 8 +1 to wound monstrous charging bear.
Just the dungeon at that point, isn't it? Who cares?
Yeah.
All right. It's probably longer than we expected to talk about bears for, right?
I talk about bears all day. Bears on bears on bears on bears.
On bear.
On bears. Superb.
Beautiful.
Right, what's next one, Connor?
Something a bit more fun. We got Rangers and the Shire. So we got Aragorn Strider with big pointy magic sword, Anduril, and he's got 5 Rangers of the North. And then we've got Gandalf the Grey, along with 5 Hobbit Militia, 3 Hobbit Archers. We got William Whitfoot with 5 Hobbit Militia and 3 Hobbit Archers, and then a Wholefoot Bracegirdle with 10 Hobbit Sheriffs for 35 models, 11 bows, and 13-ish might.
Are they real names of hobbits, or have you just made?
No, those are from the Legendary Legends.
Yeah.
Old Willie Whitfoot.
See the one?
He's the mayor of Hobbiton.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
What does Willie Whitfoot do, and what does Wholefoot Bracegirdle do?
Yeah, that's outside my area of
I'm
expertise.
furiously scrolling right now. Talk amongst yourselves. Make some content for 30
I
seconds.
literally played against this Legion like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
And
a list with Aragorn, 5 Rangers of the North, and still somehow has 35 models is pretty impressive. Like, that's 200 points a character stomping around. To be fair, the remaining 29 models aren't necessarily that impressive, but
Can I say, they've obviously power gamed the Gandalf side of things, because why he's not on a cart, I'll never know.
yeah, exactly.
So I've looked them up. Wholefoot Bracegirdle means that the sheriffs within 3 inches of him count as burly with their hand and a half clubs.
Yes.
You got burly hobbits.
Strength 2 burly. Love it.
And Will Whitfoot can spend a point of will to be a 6-inch banner for hobbits for a turn.
Oh, how good.
Very nice.
He's got his banner. He's got his burly.
What happens when Aragorn gets +1 to wound with Anduril? It's still a 4, right?
No, it goes to 3.
That's a 3.
Yeah, I think it's just Azog's one that's been FAQ'd to mean that it's always a...
Aragorn actually goes
So you
to 3.
can't have anything nice.
Aragorn's goes to 3. Yep.
That is fucking... I mean, I don't know when the situation arises where Gandalf's killed much more than Aragorn, but, you know. Could happen.
I've lost swaths of miniatures to Gandalf crushing stones, but to be fair, they were what else? So
Classic Connor not taking armor.
yeah,
I mean,
I did not resist that magic.
It's really cool to get that many models, like you say, with Aragorn and with Gandalf and with Rangers. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of might. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's got
11
blinding
votes.
light in there as well. A compel.
Yeah,
A lot of might behind shooting.
Destroy rocks or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
yeah, true. The mighty collapse rocks.
Yeah. You probably hope that you're coming towards the hobbits and not the hobbits are trying to get to Aragon and the Rangers.
Yeah. Well, Aragorn's just going to be marching left, right, and centre anyway. So
Mhm. Yeah,
Does
and
anyone
it's a
else
cool theme as well.
play 13 might
well,
With-
the Rangers have got might, haven't they?
with
Mhm.
with like a free one each turn?
Aragorn's got the free, yeah.
That's disgusting.
It's a lot. It's a lot. That's how's this out might like Rise of Theoden?
Spoilers.
But the admin on this list scares me, having to figure out which ranger has used up what and then having to
Yeah.
count how many friggin' hobbits have gone before you break.
That's true.
At least there's only 5 rangers, so it could be worse.
Again, they both sort of like do pretty well on their own as individual lists as well, right? Like that Aragorn and the Rangers can get into any terrain, they're totally fine. And the Gandalf force can just sort of hold out easily in time for the others to get across.
Hobbit archers, don't
Yeah.
underrate. And don't underrate how many stones is that? 24 or something? A lot of
29
stone.
stones, 28, yeah. Yeah, and Gandalf will help negate Aragorn's weakness, which is magic, with his protection of the Valor. So that'll be
Strength and will.
just
Yep.
make it that much harder to shut him down.
And Gandalf can
Also,
I
the
mean-
fact he's got blinding light protecting him, and he's only G5, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rangers hiding behind blinding light is quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see the bears just stomp their way through all these hobbits, though. How satisfying would that be? Just like,
You're an absolute savage, Connor.
yeah. Like, I'm just excited to see other people with low defense get killed.
That is true though. I mean, your defense caps out at a mighty 5 on Aragorn
Yeah.
and Gandalf. So
Aragorn's 4, he doesn't have the armor. He's
or a bow.
paid money for his fancy sword.
true.
Does he
Nice.
I'll
not?
bring her around.
Is he not 5?
Yeah. Well,
What's that?
does he
Is he
not
only
come with a base?
No, I believe you have
No,
to
I
buy it.
think you have to buy it for the fellowship profile.
That's
Yeah.
5. Yeah, 5 base without armor.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If Gandalf can be 5 without armor, surely.
How is Gandalf 5 without armor and Celeborn's 4 without armor? I will die on this hill.
And then Gandalf will collapse it.
Yeah.
Um,
Gandalf does get like access to heavy armor and a shield. So,
That'd be a sight to see. Wow.
yeah,
George, I don't appreciate that.
I want to see this versus the Bears with their 2 elven blades.
Yeah, that's sneaky.
Ah,
I want to see the bears get stoned to death by 29 hobbits.
strength 1 versus D8. Is that
On what are they looking for?
Is
6s by 6s?
6 by 6 or just
Was that
Can't
impossible? Yeah.
You're not forgetting the
think it's-
early
I think it's a
sheriff.
6 by
by
6.
6? Yeah.
Early sheriffs
The
are going to do some
Brilliant
work.
Yeah,
Early
yeah, all
sheriff,
10 of them.
early beers.
They'll be wounding on a 6. Yep. No,
Has
a
Rangers
five-
Number
got,
five-
has Rangers
a
got
5
the
by
spears
5?
back them up?
no, I think they do. The Rangers have no spears, obviously, do they?
Or do they come standard with spears?
No, they don't.
No,
Yeah.
you got to pay
Well,
one
Ah,
for whatever reason.
okay.
The Achilles heel, the lack of Ranger spears.
That'll be this list's
Why
downfall.
wouldn't you just drop a hobbit to get some spears? But it obviously doesn't work like that.
You can't transfer the points over. No.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
suppose
that is the difficulty of these lists, is trying to balance the two sides.
You could
And
have
the
made
other
one of
thing
them a Dunedain, that slightly weaker Ranger, couldn't you? And given it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spears.
Or just drop a whole ranger just to give Aragon like bow, bit of armor, and get the spears on the rangers. But yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Have we gone and clarified what points limit we're playing?
Yeah, 350 each side.
It
You've
was the
submitted
first
a
sentence.
list.
Avid listeners, yeah. He submitted
Just-
a list. It was late, to be fair.
How do you not know what list you've submitted for?
No, I knew what points limit. I'm just saying, have we said to the viewers what points?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
first
had.
sentence.
Okay, okay.
The viewers are all coming. The only people
You're
viewing is the ones
Too busy
coming.
looking at Denny's filters.
All right,
All right.
what's the next one? What have we got next?
Yeah, let's move on. We've got Mordor and Isengard. George, do you want to do this one?
Yeah, I'm just taking it in. So in the Mordor side, we got Mouth Sauron on Armored Horse, 2 Wild Riders with shield and T-spheres. Got Shagrat with his amazing shield and heavy armor. 5 Black Numenorians, 5 Moraine Orcs with shield and spear, and 1 Moraine Orc with a banner, shield, and spear. And then on our Isengard side, we have Lurtz with shield, 6 Uruk-hai warriors with shield, 4 Uruk-hai warriors with pike. Then we got Ugluk with 5 Uruk-hai warriors with shield and 5 Uruk-hai scouts with Uruk-hai bow. Very, very interesting. A lot to take in here. No crossbows.
Big amount of might.
Scouts with bows over crossbows.
Mm.
I mean, it's been caught out by crossbows before. I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
I do like the maneuverability of the
Yeah.
Uruk-hai bows.
I think I hate it.
And that's not, well, they're a strength 3 bow, aren't they, as well? So it's not.
They are, yeah,
It's not the
18 inch,
same.
but yeah, strength 3.
Yeah.
They are a strength 3 bow, and they do get to move and shoot, admittedly.
Yeah.
Which maybe
Makes them better, in my
I
opinion.
think it was strength 3 bow. I think the move and shoot is key. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe in like this little 2-350 list, it's going to be a bit more skirmishy and things that maybe the moving's beneficial. But you're saying no to crossbows, man. You're saying no to strength 4 crossbows.
We've got a lot of strength 4 in this
Alright.
list. Everything else is
Nancy.
strength 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like Nancy
And
Reagan.
again, you might be, you don't want to end up in the situation where you're kind of waiting for a couple of crossbows sitting in one corner and you're having to abandon them to go join it with your pals.
I don't know. I'm more than
These
happy
two
to
quite nicely.
All right. Can I ask a real noob question? Is this red or yellow?
It is yellow.
Yeah.
Noob.
It's yellow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so they both got Valor Heroes to keep it all legit.
Yeah.
And yeah, with the other thing with how the doubles work at this tournament, each list, unless it's a legion which has to have a certain person as a leader, each list has a leader, and before each game, it'll be randomized to see who's the primary for that round. So you might end up with the Mouth of Sauron running around.
Is the mouth Valor or Fortitude?
Valor.
Fortitude.
Valor.
Oh, it's Valor. Okay,
Yeah,
you go.
it's the cheapest way to do shenanigans with evil.
Which of course Denny would know.
Yeah.
What do we think about the choice to make? I was about to say the choice to make the mouth the leader, but
Shagrat's Fortitude.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is
Yeah,
he
it's
almost the other way around? I'm very surprised by that.
he's been a bit robbed, really. But he does just hang out in one tower and get
That's
in a
true.
fight with an orc, so
That's
I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah.
Do we think the nature of 2-350 lists is like something I've noticed is each list has a lot of might, right? Do we think the nature of 2-350s sort of forces you into that 4 heroes thing at 700?
Yeah.
Not something you'd see if it was a 700 point list.
Definitely. Yeah, I think a
Unless
lot
you
of
go
the time you'd be
two
running
mega
3.
heroes.
You'd be running 3 or like Denny said, 2 mega heroes
Yeah.
and maybe a
It's
third
700.
minor. But because you end up with an awkward thing, a lot of times when you're making those small lists, you get one hero, you fill a warband, and then you're sitting there with like 100 points left over, and you're like, what do I do with this? Normally that would be like you combine it between the two, and you'd end up with a whole other warband and hero. But yeah, the breakdown's a little awkward sometimes.
The result seems to be lower model counts, lower bows, but a whole shitload more might floating around, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Can I
It
just say,
encourages you to take a decent second hero.
yeah. I can't critique this list. I think it's like very well crafted.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an alliance you never
Nah.
ever see. I really like it. I really think it's
Yeah, they both got D6. They both got Strength 4, Fight 4.
Mhm.
One's got 6
Even the nerdy little thing about having 6 shields and 4 pike, like I really just like that because you just have 2 little dudes with shield on the back that can, on the sides, that can just like shield away and
Well, they
keep
have
the pikes protected.
They have now got 11 Uruk shields and only 4 pikes over that side. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, but they've got
Yeah.
they've got the bows in the second
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, but the bows can't do anything. In
Yeah.
the second line. You know what I mean? Maybe that you've got 16 frontline
It's
troops.
just,
and 4 spears.
it's just a risky
Three-
run taking bows.
It's a risky shield, isn't it? You just shoot through the person in front. It's fine.
Exactly.
You're evil.
Easy, so easy. Straightforward.
And you got 3 strikers, which is excellent. And
Wags.
3 marches.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. Some drain courage with a Tiro front line as well was always a nice wee touch.
Tidy.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of
Very
fun.
nice. Yeah.
Needs more crossbows.
No, I like bows
All
are
right,
the way to
George.
go.
I think bows work really well. Yeah.
It's all right for all you guys to be wrong. It's fine.
It's not many of them though. In fairness, it's not a huge amount of shooting though.
This isn't like one of those arguable points like a Rohan captain or something. This is just
Or a
this is
perfect
just
Sullivan
crossbows.
warband.
Yeah.
No, very cool list. I like it.
Cosmic Ballet
Right.
rolls on.
Up next is the Corsairs of Umbar. Denny, you can do this one.
Ahoy, hoy. So we've got Jalma with
Ooh.
3 black nums. Sorry, 3 black Numenorians. I can't get the hours rolling. Sorry, guys. 6 Corsairs with spear and shield. 1 Corsair with just a shield. And then 2 crossbow boys. Then we've got a Bowstone who's got another 3 black nums, 3 Corsairs with shield and spear, 4 Corsairs with shield, and then 2 more crossbows. And that is one team. And the next team is a black Numenorian marshal with armored horse, lance, and leader. I'm going to get rid of this now because it doesn't make any sense. With 3 black nums, 3 Corsairs, 2 Corsairs with shield, and 2 crossbows. And then again, a black Numenorian marshal with armored horse and lance, 3 black nums, 3 Corsairs with shield and spear, 2 Corsairs with shield, and a partridge, and 2 more crossbows. For a grand total of 48 models. Goodness. That is a lot of T-spears.
It's not the highest model count, surprisingly.
I just like the giant set of cojones on the guy playing 2 black Numenorian marshals on horse with lance. It's like, what a power play that is.
That's
What an
very cool.
absolute monster pick.
We'll just keep quiet, shall we, Sam?
Thank you very much. It's really kind of you to say, George.
Yeah, this is me and Sam's
I've had-
special list.
Yeah.
Please don't
I've tried to
This
stay
is
up on my route.
disgusting list, boys. This is
Well, thank you.
disgusting. 3, 6,
It's
9,
got everything I
12.
like. It's got defense 3. It's got throwing weapons. It's got pajamas. It's got a dodgy little weak hero with some shenanigans. And then Sam manages to get what he likes, which is 2 big, heavy-hitting heroes.
And it's got your Stalk Unseen.
Yep, I love it. So good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play good throwing weapons.
Stalk Unseen
How
on
do you only
Almir.
have bows?
What's that?
How do you only have 8 crossbows?
Choice.
Oh, crossbows are overrated.
They are.
Genuinely.
They are.
I don't think I would have wanted to have seen 15 crossbows in this list.
Wow.
Everything has a throwing weapon, right?
Everything's got a throwing weapon.
Exactly. Except for
crossbows is
we've got
throwing
12 black Numenorians in there, which don't. And that's other than that, we've got a lot of throwing weapons.
8 crossbows is enough to force engagement.
It's
You've got-
30 throwing weapons.
And if you
roughly.
don't, you got March to run up there.
Got a lot of march.
On March.
And
surprised
Sam's the
I-
one with the march, so he'll be using it.
Famously. I realize the black Numenorian marshals might be controversial, but I wanted to use them sometime one day, and B, we came against the awkward size thing where if you have a 55-point captain with a crossbow, say, you end up with 2 full warbands and then 30-odd point spear with nothing to do with it. So it became use the points
Too
on
much.
marshals
Yeah.
rather than have 40 points outstanding.
We've got to make the Numenorians, earn their place in the list. Otherwise, they do feel a bit out of shape. Yeah. I'm
That's
looking
legit.
forward to it. It'll be fun. No blinding light, I will say, which is odd for me, but
48 models, that's the blinding light.
yeah,
Does go against trend of low might count, high model count. Only
Yeah,
7.
yeah, and it's Corsairs though, isn't it? There's no way to do Corsair list. It's not
The list is, what is the list using might for realistically?
low might. It's a low might list. It's just there's no way around it.
I
I mean,
think
you just drown them in pirates.
having the way that you've done it with 2 350-point lists makes it very difficult to craft lists with a courage answer. So having the 12 black nums is going to be very difficult for a lot of these armies, I imagine, to actually get into combat, unless it's something with bodyguard or whatnot. But I'd be surprised if we're seeing shamans and those kinds of things that actually allow for armies to go in. So that's just going to be fun to play against, isn't it?
Did you consider just courses with bows over the crossbows?
I did. Had I the models for it, I would have done it.
I knew that was going to be your answer.
I've got like 8 of them unpainted, but I had no painted ones ready. I was like, no. Otherwise, I probably would have done, honestly, because I have played Corsairs before and not had a very good time with the Arbalisters, to be frank. But lowering the numbers also makes it feel less like, you're only leaving a 60 army behind rather than a 30 army behind.
Yep.
I wasn't aware that the issue you had with the list was just with the Arbalisters, but
there's many other issues with the list. Many other. This is my trying to redeem myself after getting annihilated.
Paired up with me, a notoriously good player.
Do you own a Dalgamar?
I own George's Corsairs currently, which have a Delamere among them. So
why did we buy Corsairs?
Hoist about our own petard.
You're not getting them back till he gets at least a win in with them.
I have stolen
the first game if you want.
It's a terrifying, literally terrifying list. Well done, lads. The only thing we've got going for us, George, is we've seen Sam play with these before. So hopefully he's learnt nothing.
Knowing who it is, that makes it feel a lot less terrifying. Eh? Yeah.
You've seen Sam play with them, and you've just seen me play in general, and so you guys know.
Sam's already got the victory.
Demolished me twice.
What's that? What have I got? Yeah, I'll take that. I was proud of that. That's I got what I wanted from this. I can die happy.
I hope we can turn this off then.
What else have we got, Connor?
Moving on. Yeah, let's move on. We've got another nice, lovely, friendly list. Assault upon Helm's Deep. I'll do this one. We've got an Urukai captain, who's the leader. We've got an Isengard troll with shield, 2 Urukai berserkers, 5 Urukai warriors with shield, 1 Urukai warrior with banner, and 1 Isengard assault ballista. And in list 2, we've got an Urukai captain with shield, 5 berserkers, 6 warriors with pike, 5 with shield, 2 with crossbow, and 1 more ballista with an extra crew with 36 models, 2 bows plus 2 extremely big bows, and 6 smite.
Why
is it 2 big bows?
It's like
2 really big bows.
Crossbows are not New Zealand meta, George.
It's like everyone just like
no one wants them.
Between 1 to 10, and that was how many bows they were allowed to take.
Hold on, sorry. It's a list with 2 assault ballistae. Why does it need model limit of crossbows as well? Why do you need 12 crossbows and 2 assault ballista?
In case the assault ballista miss.
Mind you, I suspect I know whose list this was, and based on recent experience, they weren't a fan of the shooting phase. They were definitely a bit more of a combat heavy assault on Helm's Deep.
Why have they taken 2 assault ballista if they're not a fan of the shooting phase?
Exactly, done. I mean, the biggest argument for no crossbows here in New Zealand is the cost of the damn things. They're like $15 a pop now. Something ridiculous on the...
Yeah.
So...
Yep. There's a thriving second-hand market for crossbows.
Yeah. George is picking them all up. He's trying to sell the hype like a...
That's why he's doing this. It's like crossbows.
The best. Yeah. Crossbows going up. Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone's in need, hit me up.
Crossbow futures. Tell them just after.
So a fun thing about this little nerdy list is the Assault on Helm's Deep, you get your Uber commander. That isn't decided until you pick who the leader is. So the Uber commander will bump up. It'll change between each game, which would be a bit of fun.
That's cool.
I think what's also fun is you've just randomly got 7 Urukai berserkers in there.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Not much better than crossbows.
Yeah, you don't often see the berserkers coming out in the Helm's Deep force just because it tries to like max out on numbers. So the fact that we've got 7 Urukai berserkers, you to learn a troll is pretty cool and unique to it.
I think it's 100% going to be a numbers thing on their right hand side there though. Like it's 18 models. You've got those, 25 odds points spare. What do? You upgrade a few troops of berserkers.
Once again, with the way that you go 350 on both sides, I actually think like your Isengard and Mortal Trolls, which you may not see doing a lot of work at a 700 points level, actually do a lot more at the double 350. So I expect that thing to do a lot of work.
That's really nicely, at that point.
It's a lot harder to fit in a random ring wraith as well, being 120 something points base plus, whatever kit you want to give them.
What do we
And
see?
then they've got to only lead 12 people. It's not, or 15. It's
Yeah.
not really good enough.
Exactly.
mean-
I've seen a Gandhi and a Mouth so far.
Yeah.
Mouth's got limited transfix, but yeah, not many answers to a troll.
It's hard to ignore the like obvious weakness of only 6 might, 4 of it kind of being relevant might. So it's definitely going to struggle where those 13, 14 point might lists can start taking over the game through those methods. But hopefully by that time you can cut through them with 30 odd Urukai. So
I was going to
Oh,
say,
yeah.
at that point,
Lister.
your blisters have killed the might on your opponent's side of the board.
Genuinely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't sit back and rely on blinding light with this one.
No.
No, not with 2 re-rolling as well. Even if it
No,
is
actually,
natural
I don't
6s,
agree.
it's decent odds.
And keeping with the theme of crossbows and throwing stones, does the troll have throwing stones? Much like our hobbit friends?
It does have throwing
Here we
stones.
go.
Slightly
So
better
already
than the
that's
Hobbit.
3 bows, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. 4
Sorry.
bows.
Plus
5 bows.
2 big bows.
Yeah, plus 2 big bows.
Okay, the troll can be a medium bow.
I can't wait. The first list we see, it's got max bows. We don't know straight away whose it is. It's going to be an immediate tell.
George's. Max crossbows.
Max crossbows.
All right, let's move on. For another fun one, we got the other Assault Legion. Assault and Lothlorien. Sam, would you like to take this friendly
And
bundle
throw it in
of
the
fun?
trash.
And burn it now.
2 assault
Why
lists
is,
in a
why,
at a
why, is,
time.
why is Wharganui always so competitive?
It's a very
I don't know why
simple
you guys say this about us. We bring tame stuff. It's thematic. There's
Well,
20 people coming to this, and only 5 are from Wharganui. So
Can I just say as well, this is actually,
I can't explain this.
for the viewers, this is the biggest tournament in New Zealand all year so far. It's Whanganui doubles one day. It's the biggest tournament in the country
Yep.
we've had. So this is
People know what they're coming
serious
into.
business, yeah. Anyway, this one is
Hold
Just
on.
didn't, but everyone else does.
It's not bigger than Auckland, right?
Wasn't Auckland only 18 in the end? Then they dropped a couple because of the floods.
Oh, no, Auckland was early 20s.
Early 20s.
Ooh.
why are
before
you
you-
telling the story?
Yeah, that doesn't fit our narrative. Be quiet. Sam,
Yeah.
before you start,
Yeah.
should we talk about the fact that Moria is not taking a cave drake
Ooh.
or the Watcher,
Wow.
as you were?
Visual jokes for the
Really funny
podcast.
stuff. Yes, for all of our
For the
listeners on
kids watching,
Spotify
yeah.
and iTunes and audible.com. Um,
Yeah.
All right, anyway, shut up. This got Ashrak with 6 Venomback spiders, 4 Goblin Prowlers, and 4 Goblin Warriors with bow. A Goblin Shaman, which I was told I wouldn't see, with 8 Goblin Prowlers, 3 Goblin Warriors with Orc Bow, and 1 Goblin Warrior with Orc Bow and Spear. Appreciate the Beast Caller with 3 Goblin Warriors with Shield, 2 Goblin Warriors, 5 Goblin Warriors with Spear, and 5 Goblin Warriors with Bow. And Musgur, the Orc Shaman, with
Hurry.
3 Warg Riders with Throwing Spear, 3 Warg Riders with Bow, and a Bat Swarm and a Wild Warg.
50 models. 50 models.
Not my idea of a good time.
17 bows. Is that max bows, George?
It says
Yeah.
17 there. That looks to me like max bows. Are you
I'm
satisfied, George?
I'm still processing this list is even in front of us right now.
Because you wanted this. You asked for this, George.
I think
It's
it's
been too
like
long
near
since the
70
Lothlorien
wounds as
was
well.
around.
I think it's getting around 70 wounds, not just 50 models. There's a lot of wounds in there.
Who refers to the amount of wounds in a list?
Nerds.
Someone that has to
Pure-
verse it.
Real
Pure
serious.
nerds.
Yeah.
Someone's been wounded before.
It is interesting they've put all their sort of like fun stuff in one warband, right?
I don't
What's
reckon
he doing?
Ashrak and the spiders is fun.
Yeah,
But sort of like all their sort of their
That's
like
where the fun
druid-
ends.
I think Prowlers are definitely fun.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
There's a cool 12 prowlers in this. 12 throwing weapons with +1 to wound.
Wow.
That's pretty fun.
It's 20. The throwing spears. Don't forget the throwing spears.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
good.
apologies.
So
Even
it's
a shaman that can throw out transfixes quite easily with the reroll was fun to play with.
17 bows and 15 throwing weapons. That's whew. Tell you what, that you're not going to be able to shoot this one, Mister Assault on Helm's Deep.
Oh, you are
Yeah.
on 6s.
I mean, only 2 people are having
It's a
fun
good thing you
in
didn't
these games.
put a whole bunch of points into crossbows, isn't it? Because if this was coming along,
Yeah.
It'd be very embarrassing for anyone who's taken like an all hero force where they can just pick out your heroes one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
6
just
Benenbeck spiders
terrible.
is a healthy amount of
That's
spiders
a
as well. You
very
see-
large number of spiders.
Yeah, a lot of the time you see people go extremely hard on goblins and just kind of bring 1 or 2 spiders.
Yeah. Just
But
Does it still get 50?
again, with how the points break down and stuff.
More wounds, George. More wounds.
Do the maths on this.
Goblins are cheap. 4 points a model. 5 with a bit of
George,
kit.
George doubts this is legal.
No, it's definitely legal. I just hate
Definitely
that it is.
Just the shaman's bumped up to a fortitude, and everyone else is up
That's
to valor.
very, yeah.
So yep,
Yeah.
it's definitely legal.
Try to sound more excited, Danny.
I don't know.
Yay.
Usually when you verse
Thing is,
goblins,
this-
you have fun because you're taking
Yeah.
models off. Like both sides are taking models off the board.
Yeah.
Not so much with this version of it.
It's
I
so
feel
good.
like
Yeah.
just after I said we're expecting low model counts with lots of might, it's just the
Yeah, no
exact-
shamans.
Well, I just
100%.
embarrassed.
Just
Yeah,
just
exactly.
3 shamans.
yeah. Only 6 might, obvious weakness,
Yeah.
but it's just going to annihilate
I
you
mean,
before you
yeah.
can do anything relevant with it.
Yeah. And not that many, it's mostly goblins as well, so you're not even getting that many +1s to win back if you do get a few cheeky shots in.
Are there any banner scenarios?
There is one.
Yes.
potential.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's 2 VP in the bank. If you can protect the banner against invisible spiders.
All of that stuff. Yeah.
Invisible spiders. God, that's horrifying.
It's
Well-
just got shenanigans. It'll be interesting to see how it runs as a doubles list because it does
Yes.
require a lot of coordination and micromanaging and
Yes.
resource management. And as a doubles list, yeah, it'll be a challenge.
You'll need to
It'll
work
be a
very closely with it.
communication exercise.
Yeah.
It may struggle in the I don't know, not sure if the scenario's in there, but essentially the dueling contest of champions sort of one, where it relies on your leaders to go out and get some wounds.
Yeah.
Not exactly to beat 6 and Ashrak and Cherzag, is it?
In
Yeah.
my experience, it
Very
still manages to negate opponents' heroes. Where it falls down is like the Maelstrom scenarios, which
And even then, Ashrak and Druzag are both getting +1s if they are outnumbering in combats and things like that. So
Yeah.
take a batswoman in there. Shenanigans.
A list that isn't short of its own tricks, is it?
True
No.
that. Well,
Well, that's sobered everyone up, hasn't it?
yeah.
We move on. Let's get that out of our sight.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
darkness will.
hope you put something light.
Ah,
Oh,
what's this?
dear.
It's another staple of the competitive scene, the Riders of Theoden.
in 2019,
George,
Nerd alert.
hey,
Nerd
George, would
alert.
you like to read this original list?
Original is a great way to describe this list, Connor. Tried and true, I think.
Elf helm.
Uh,
Jesus.
All right, Sam, can you settle down?
are we taking
Listen.
Elfhelm? Why are we taking Elfhelm?
Elf helm.
Yeah, we thought is it getting a bit too original? We'd spice it up a bit.
This is I've been
So
drinking
this one we have Theoden with armored horse, heavy armor and shield, and 2 royal guard with horse and T-spears. Then we have Durnhelm with a T-spear, 2 royal guard. Then we have Daewine with a royal guard and a T-spear. List 2, we have Aemir with throwing spear and a royal guard with a T-spear. Then we have Elfhelm just riding around on his own, and then Gambling with his standard and 1 royal guard with a T-spear to make up 13 models, 0 bows, which is a third of what we can legally take, so it's fine, and 16 might with a little extra.
It's
Don't know what
it's very familiar, doesn't
It
it?
is. Why elf helm? Genuinely.
I painted the model. I want to use it.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
totally
just fun to use.
Yeah. For those who
Hey,
haven't picked up on the context clues, this is George and Denny's list.
Hey Connor, we haven't actually asked you this, but we're gonna roll on each game who's playing what list?
Is that all good?
You've put me on the spot here, guys. Appreciate that.
I think for Legion
guess
Release,
so.
that
I
should just be
guess
the
so.
role in general.
I guess so. Yeah, I'll allow it. But just because you guys asked nicely and so very publicly.
The whole plan was to ask you so publicly
Hold on.
that you couldn't
I'll
really.
roll for it, shall I? I'll roll for it.
Oh, the dice says no. Oh, what a shame.
Oh, no.
You
Bugger.
must
Oh, well,
as a ball.
good luck next time.
I don't know which list is more enjoyable.
I
They
think
both
it's
are-
enjoyable for different reasons. Aim is just going to be fun because whoever has that one just has a huge beat stick, and then the other one kind of has to try and do the same amount of damage, but more like nuanced kind of movements and strategies there. Because Durnhell can still do damage, but is a little bit of a glass cannon if she gets kind of overcommits.
Durnhell and Dale one can both do reasonable work. I think we've got one big thing on one side versus three medium-sized things on the other side. You know.
I recently played a tournament where Theoden, I could take this Legion with Theoden, didn't have to be your leader. There was sort of like other additional rules where someone else got to be your leader. And Theoden's actually really fun to play on this list when he's not your leader and you're not like super worried and concerned about him the whole time. And you can just chuck him in as another beat stick hero. So there's a situation where AMA gets through the hero, then Theoden is just like another one of those 3 might beat stick heroes that gets the death. And with Sam, maybe
He's had enough.
you're just taking a break. He was that disgusted by the list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing to say about this list. We've
Yeah.
seen it how many times, you've played it how many times, we've discussed it so many times, it writes itself. I just lean back and I'm having a rest.
Yeah,
Tell us why you bought Elf Helm, and I'll pretend to listen and just nod off gently. And
I painted the model. That's the only reason.
this is a list from 2019.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
we're
George.
expected to talk about it in 2023. There's nothing to say.
Are you going to take something else maybe for the next event? Maybe.
I
want
announced
to take
you guys
years.
having a year of Rise of Theoden. Every single tournament, you're like, I wonder what George is going to take. You guys all have these
It's been
conversations. You're like, what
5
is George
years of
taking?
the year of Riders of Theoden.
What was that?
It's been the year of Riders of Theoden for 5 years though. I feel like I came into
Back
this
badges,
game
guys.
just as War and Gondor released, and it's just been Rise of Theoden, Rise of Theoden.
I feel like I missed the announcement on the Chinese New Year. The year of Riders of Theoden. Are there any other options we can
The year
take?
of the horse. That's what
The
it
year of
is.
the rabbit. I'm taking Radagast and Bucky.
It's cool. It's fun. It's powerful. It's going to do a lot of damage to little folks who brought unarmored Corsairs and unarmored goblins. And
Good
no
thing-
cavalry.
Then the courses will just shoot it all down, right?
Get the
Oh,
horses.
definitely. There's one turn in which they will. Now I'm wishing I had bought those crossbows. that one turn, if we're lucky, where you're within 6 inches of us, then we'll throw some knives.
There's going to be a really good time of just like one Corsair going into each one of these heroes and then every single other Corsair surrounding them and just hitting daggers at it until somebody dies.
I just
And
can't.
repeat that for the rest of the game. It's going to be engaging. It's going to be enjoyable.
I can't wait for our opponents, George, just to watch the domestic between us as we decide when or not to use death. Because I know we both have different opinions on when to use that.
I've already,
I will
So
also
apologies
be
to our
marking-
opponents.
I've sort of
Yeah.
self-declared myself as the death caller. So
Whoever has Theoden gets
Ooh.
the call death. That can be our rule.
It's a good deal.
yeah, it's a good deal.
And I will dock you sports points if you don't physically scream death at the top of your lungs. And the other one has to also chime in afterwards, please.
I've been to
Thank you.
events when people do that, and it's just not a pleasant experience to have someone
Yeah,
just
I
screaming
can
out.
imagine it's one of those things. Great on paper.
Was it a Lord of the Rings event, Sam?
It was actually, and it was just
Good.
not.
It makes
It was
sense.
not. It was not necessary.
That's a family funeral.
That in year 1 of 5.
Yeah, genuinely, it was years 1, 2, and 3 is what it was. I'm just not.
I still feel like you've done us one too little on our model count, Connor. You've not included Mary.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on now.
It's
We
How
can't have this
embarrassing.
conversation.
You call
Yeah.
yourself a TO.
I know.
I do.
When did you get this list, by the way? Was it on time?
It was no, it definitely wasn't.
That's why you've
Was
lost
it-
it.
And it was after a significant amount of pestering as well.
How gutted were you to eventually receive the list after 2 weeks of pestering for it, just to find out it was the same
It was,
old list?
it was written in 2019. It was written 5
George-
years ago, and they still couldn't
Yeah,
find it on
George
time.
literally said that as he dropped it. He's like, "How disappointed are you to see that this was the list?" And I was like, "Yep, that disappointed."
I
Not as
don't know why-
disappointed as the previous TO, who he might have dropped his list off to a day before the tournament started, but You know,
I don't know why I'm copping all the heat here. This is as much Denny's list as it is mine.
Oh, it's not my list. I wanted beers.
Denny wrote it 5 years
yeah,
ago.
we all know Denny wants beers.
All right, move on from this. I'm sick
Let's
of
move on. Let's move on. We've had enough.
We're going to review this list a lot over the next few months. I'm sick of talking about it.
How long can we record for free on this, George? 8 hours?
I'm moving on.
Can we just record a section
We've
on Miles Bad and then just replay it back every time we do one of these? Because it's just
Not a bad idea. Just repeat it.
Yeah.
It's just Denny saying, I painted the model, so I wanted to take it.
I swear.
Lovely. Let's go Mordor and Isengard as our next one.
sorry. Can I say before we go any further, I've never before today. I think I've ever in my life seen a Mordor and Isengard alliance. All of a sudden, there's two in a row.
That's
What's
Wharganui, buddy.
Madness.
Out of control.
Speaking of out of
Denny, take us
control,
away.
speaking of out of control, yeah. Spoilers, George. Spoilers.
It was me. Just a
All right, we've got Gothmog with a Warg and Shield. He's got 4 Moranas with Shield, 4 Moranas with Shield and Spear, 1 Moranan with Shield and Banner, one Mortal with Shield and Banner, 1 Mortal Orc with Bow, 1 Mortal Troll. And then the next army is Alerts. You say with a Shield, bro. Isn't the Shield for free? Anyway,
Yeah,
2 Orokai Warriors with Shield, 3 Orokai Warriors with Pike, 5 with Crossbow. Sorry, used to smaller numbers on the crossbow front. Then the second warband is an Orokai Captain with Shield, 2 Oroks with Shield, 4 with Pike, and 2 Berserkers. For a lovely 32 models, 6 bows, and 8 asterisks, mate? Because of Master of Battle.
Master of Battle.
Nice. All right. I love the little orc that could, and I think it's going to be the next Pixar film. This one little mortal orc with a bow taking out George's Theoden, sort of horse, charging into battle.
Swift snowman.
It's actually, when you take just a single bow, you know that bow is going to do so much more work than an entire, 33%.
Oh, it's going to be Theoden's
It's just how it works. Unless it's Legolas's bow, in which case it will do nothing, and I will hate it forever.
I will go down on paper saying I'm more than happy with this one Mortal Orc bow to have Snowman Bane as a special role.
Yeah, I think so. We'll get our sportsmanship points that way.
Yeah.
Add that in, Connor.
And if that fails, you can just use the troll to throw something at them.
Yeah, that.
5
Or a
crossbows.
stone. Or a stone.
All right.
Genius.
Crossbows and throw stones. That's not going to be better.
I'm interested by the Uruk Captain with Shield. When was the last time outside of Assault on Lothlorien, Assault on Helm's Deep, that you saw an unnamed Uruk Captain in an Isengard list?
Right there.
It's a tiny wee profile, isn't it? D7, strength 5.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah. It's just what. So what would you rather
Paying
take?
for the
Hook luck
defense,
or-
because all your others are defense 5, except for Alerts who's 6.
You can get 3 attacks, or you can get a strike or something. An extra point of might.
Yep.
Brasco.
Brasco, even
That's
genuinely.
a red herring.
Yeah, it's more crossbows. So that's gross.
I quite like the Gothmog pick with the Master of Battle, just knowing how much might's going to be floating around. He's so sustainable on his own, right? If he gets isolated, he's still got that backup option as might.
Yep. It makes that warband survive a lot better by itself, and it supports the Mortal Troll quite nicely.
Well, that's it. You just go Troll and Gothmog into something. Opponent has to call the strike because the Troll's there, and then Gothmog's. You know what?
You get it anyway.
Whilst you're at it, yeah.
Because I'll strike.
If I must, yeah.
It's I do get nervous about seeing Gothmog leading 12 of 10 orcs, though.
The time of the orc has come, Sam.
The time of the orc is going to be brief. He's
One giant orc and the troll, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he doesn't count, though, does he? Special rules, not being used perfectly,
Noob question. He asks, 2 hours into this, 3 hours into this. Do you break individually or as a group?
As a group.
As a group. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it's the red alliances that do the individuals. Once you hit the table, everything basically counts as being as one force.
Okay, cool.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
In which case, it's fine.
I will allow it.
You wouldn't have expected the Isengard force to bring more numbers than the Orc force, would you?
Yeah, then the Mordor, yeah.
That's your troll.
What's the because these are yellow, so you're losing the reroll ones to wound on the Mordor and the 33% on the
Yep.
Yeah.
Isengard?
Which
Yeah,
wouldn't
which you're
affect
not
the
that
entire
bothered about,
army
are you?
anyway,
Yeah.
and
No.
yeah.
It's
I mean-
actually it's an alliance that you don't lose a whole lot in.
You ignore Theoden's Bane and the Banner Boy, and the lowest strength you have is 4.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
everything is strength 4, 5, or I don't know what a mortal
Hmm.
troll is, 6 or 7.
The big one you sort of lose is the +1 to wound, the rerolling ones of Mordor, but you got a higher numbers in the first place, right?
Mhm.
If your models, no. You can bring in a troll,
You
just
can-
giving that up, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can be stabbing as well if you really want to.
Surely they've got picks or whatever it is, X's.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
We
Oh,
don't know.
it's cool. It's cool. It's got some pikes. Enough pikes to get some Fight 4 into some rounds as well. It's nice.
It's cool to see some stuff we haven't seen before, unlike Riders of Phantom.
That was a dig at you, George.
It was. It's almost explicitly a dig at George.
2019.
Let's move on.
Can we just make fun of the fact that he's used this list like at 10 tournaments, but doesn't actually own the army?
Denny, I actually do want you to read this one again, if that's okay. I know you just read the last one, but I think this one's really right up your alley. So this is our Farharad and the Serpent Horde.
Okay,
And
Farharad
short-circuited.
and
Oh,
the
just-
Serpent.
We've lost him.
All right, here we go. We've got a Mahud Queen with War Camel and Shield. And we've got 5 half trolls, 6 Mahud Raiders with War Spear and Blowpipe, 4 Mahud Warriors with Spear. And then in the next army, we've got Saladin, no armored horse, interesting, with 17 Watchers of Kana with twin swords. Then a Harad Chieftain with horse, 2 Harad Raiders with bow, and 1 Harad Raider with War Spear and bow. For a lovely 38 models, 3 bows, and 7 might.
That's peak Suladan Warband right there.
Where's the horse?
That is peak Suladan Warband.
What,
The horse
like,
is another Watcher Arcana.
what is the most triggering part of this whole list? Is it the lack of Saladin horse, the 17 watches, or that someone's just messing with me and put in 3 bows for the sake of it?
Why have none of them got bows?
Do you lose the army bonus, maybe?
No,
Are they green?
it's green, yeah.
Why does Herod Chieftain have a horse and not Saladin?
I know who this person is, and this person will be absolutely chuffed at having brought 17 Watches of Kana with twin swords. They will be stoked.
It's absolute hard on for 2 attack models, isn't it? Half trolls and
Oh, yes.
Can we just appreciate the left-hand side is so damn nice to look
Love
at.
it. Love it.
it's
Really
so,
good.
So good.
You haven't even looked at it. Just transfixed with horror at the right-hand side.
Or immobilized.
Mobilized with horror. Failing our terror tests. I mean, obviously, the Mahud Queen with Warhammer and Shield is phenomenal. Half Trolls, phenomenal. Mahud Raiders, yeah. Mahud Warriors, sure, I guess, fills up some numbers.
So, I'm just so your battle line would be 23 25 bases of half trolls and Watchers of Kana and 4 spears behind it.
If your raiders get dismounted, then you can always jump off the camel and go support if you need to.
War spears.
You might even just want to dismount them at the beginning of the game just to get more spears.
They're all 2 attacks already, though. That's the beauty of it. 6-inch banner, they're all 2 attacks. Who cares? Let them.
Lovely.
They need a spear, baby.
Yep.
It's the
And
efficient
Soladan's
line.
parking himself right in the middle. Just going
Well, he's not
slowly
charging
chop
in on his
along with
lack
his tail.
of
And this, no, he's having no problem. Watches of Kana will go straight through the terror. Whoa.
Yep. Then he's dismounted a Soladan against me in a sly little move. This guy doesn't even need to do it. It's already done.
They knew it was going to happen. They just took it. Didn't bother paying for the horse. That's efficiency.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the noob that paid 15 points, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, what an
Then just
idiot.
got off like a loser.
How embarrassing.
Just to get shot out from under you. Why bother?
Yeah, he's countering that little orc from the last list. He just got on there in advance. Said, nah, I know where this is going.
Who in New Zealand owns 17 watches of Kana's with twin swords?
Yeah. If you don't respect them, Denny, they will put them all in a sock and beat you with it. And that's a significant amount of weight.
Take out my trick knee at the moment.
Oh my god. I'm looking forward to throwing some weapons at it, Connor. I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to chucking some knives at this.
Yeah.
Every time I see Silverton supporting half trolls, I am genuinely terrified of.
Oh,
Half
yeah.
trolls with them behind them is just the most frightening thing of this game.
That side is great. It's really great. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, you've essentially just paid 350 points for a 6-inch banner on the right.
Yeah. Why does the chieftain have the horse?
Someone
We
said
can
that.
hit you with it.
I'm interested. I'm looking at just now. Haradrim Raiders, 3 of them all have bows. Only one has a lance, though. This person has just seen watches of Kana and just complete, just blinkered, just gone for the expense of lance.
They
I think
realize
like the
disappointing
pages
thing.
are stuck together in the book and they haven't found anything. Just got Southern Chieftain watches of Kana and they've gone, oh god, okay.
It's a pretty short army list. They haven't got much stuff, do they?
Super horde. Yeah.
they've taken the 17 watches and sold them. Like, oh, I better fit in some bows now.
Oh god.
There's a coffee stain over the swap two's twin swords for bows. I will say the most disappointing piece about this entire list is that it's 17 watches, not 18 watches.
Yeah, that's
no.
the most disappointing part of the entire.
I would drop a horse.
At this point,
Drop a horse.
you might as well. Dear,
Maybe it's like we're assuming this person has infinite watches of Kana. Maybe they only had 17.
Yeah.
Who stops at 17?
They did
you buy
message
them in
me
threes?
beforehand and say, "Do you mind if I proxy Watches of Kana as Raiders?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can do it. Just put them on a horse." And they're fine." So it's actually 20. I'm going to be hitting the table.
It's all watches. The half troll is a proxy.
Yeah, yeah.
watch. This
Two of them stacked up on top of each other for a half troll.
This is 38 models, by the way. Can I just say? I've just seen that. How is this
Yeah.
38 models?
17
One for Victor
if
Watches
I'm-
of Kana.
Exactly.
That's actually a lot of 2 models, though. In all seriousness,
Denny, how many attacks is this? Because you've been counting wounds, but have you been counting attacks?
I'm dead inside. I'm just thinking about how George and I can turn this into a 2-hour discussion on the perfect Saladin warband, but I think we can't. There it is, right there.
Yeah, 17's better than 18.
Clearly, that's clearly
75.
the tech pick. It's been
75
play
if
tested.
we're all charging. All the cav are charging.
Absolute fucking meme list. Absolute meme is whoever these two are.
I love that they've specifically looked at the amount of models you get in the blister packs and have taken one off. So like 5 half trolls instead of 6, and then 17 watches instead of 18. So a couple more Kanas or half trolls just sitting around unpainted. Or they've tactically gone for 17 for some big brain player that I can't see right now.
This is the play. I think this is the Alphelm reasoning, which is I've got 17 watches painted, and I want to use them.
Genuinely. I think that is actually the reason.
They fight for so Alpha still has to be scared, George.
Unless there are two people in the scene who have 18 watches of Kana lined up that they're desperate to use. I know who this person is. I think that is literally the reason why they have chosen to make this decision. There might be 2. There might be 2 people, in which case, God help us all. But I hope there's not. I hope there's just one.
There's 2 Mordor Isengard alliances, so anything could be true.
Who knows what our next list is going to be? It could be 17 watches again.
That's what we see. If it's 17 watches, I'm buying all watches players a drink.
It's all the bow watches. That's where
Connor's
they're
preempted this question. They actually made a fake list as the next one that includes the 17 watches.
18 watches.
Yeah, this was the real fake list. All right, let's move on. How fun.
Such fun.
We do have a fun one. We got the Misty Mountains and the Fellowship. Sam, you can do this one.
I will. This has got Gwai here with 2 eagles. Thank you, Danny. And it's got Legolas with Boromir of Gondor, Frodo Baggins, Samwise Gamgee, and Bill the Pony.
This is everything me and Jenny were trying to build and then couldn't do it, so we just reverted to Rise of that. And we spent so long being like, we want to take Gwai here 2 equals. What can we put it with? Turns out the answer was just Fellowship.
It's Bill the Pony. Yeah.
Bill the Pony was the answer.
Yep, 16 glorious points of might with Bill.
Disappointed by the one bow, but understandable in this situation.
So it's not even a crossbow.
What? The throw stones,
Stones.
George. Are you not listening?
One bow, 2 stones.
2 more stones.
As if Bill the pony hasn't weapon swapped to a bow.
Little Avenger crossbow on his back.
It wouldn't even be throw stones with him. It'd be hoof stones.
I told you, Sam, you need more crossbows on the list.
I don't have crossbow solves this problem. He does actually. Gwai here and 2 eagles.
Writes itself. Love it.
Yep.
Gwai here and 2 eagles writes itself. Had I been told to put fellowship with it, I'm not sure if this is the fellowship I would have chosen. To be perfectly frank, but it's a free country ultimately.
Yeah, where's Miriam?
You can't really choose your fellowship though, can you? Unless you're playing a different version of this game.
No,
Is
they
it
choose
green?
you.
No, I don't think so. I think Misty's is
It is green.
everyone except
It is green.
It's green. Yeah.
Misty is green with
With
Thorin
fellowship.
Company Fellowship and
Radagast
Radagast
Alliance.
Alliance.
Okay.
All right.
Damn, that is cool. 16 might as well, 6 of it being just on one person, but
Yes, he's particularly vulnerable. The Boromir of Gondor on foot.
He'll be
No
hiding
one's
behind an eagle.
probably flying team to support him though.
That's very true. That's
Who-
very true.
Who needs your Ashrak Shroud of Shadows on a spider when you got Frodo with Sting?
Yeah.
And a Mithril Code.
And Boromir is going to be hiding behind Bill the Pony, so he'll be fine.
Realistically, the fellowship list is going to be hiding in a building, and the Eagles are going to get there very quickly to support it, while the other teams still slogging across the board.
True that.
It is going to like gang up on people pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're ganging up with people with Frodo, Sam, and Bill, so whether or not it's effective or not is a different question. But
All I'm saying is you've got 3 eagles with 9, 12 might behind them, basically.
yeah,
I mean,
it's just
And then some hobbits hiding in point.
I just feel like, not that I've given much thought to Fellowship list, but I actually think this is the perfect 350 list.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I can't think
Like
of
you got the
can
synergies
drop
between Frodo and
50-ish
Sam.
points. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the synergy with Frodo and Sam. You got Bill, who does his ridiculous stuff. You got Boromir just as your tank, and Leggy's,
Hmm.
just there to do what Leggy does.
Yeah, I don't know if you swap either Legolas or Boromir for Gimli. Like, as much as I love the guy,
Yeah.
he's no. Well, I mean, I'd swap Legolas out in a heartbeat, but that's because of personal grievances.
it's saying a lot when Connor isn't taking Gimli.
Oh, I learned
Yeah,
something today. I did not know
that's-
that Misty Mountains was green with the Fellowship.
There you go.
The more you know.
Well,
There you go, kid.
'Cause you can't fit Aragorn and
that's for sure.
2 heroes in, 2 big ones in. You can't fit all 3 in without dropping a bunch of points.
I don't know. I mean,
That's good.
I feel like I'd have rather see an Aragorn and Boromir with horses, and then you could put a couple of hobbits in if you want to after that, I guess.
Yeah, I think you go to horses. You got to go like Azza, Bozza, and Leggy, all on a
Mm.
horse, and leave the hobbits at home.
Can you? You can't fit all 3. 350.
Nah,
No.
I think it's sure.
Oh, just me. Not my list. Who cares what I think? 3 people on YouTube. That's who cares what I think.
What does Bill the Pony get up to these days? Besides hoofing stones?
So he's a banner, is it? And on a 5+ he gives back some kind of resource.
Yeah.
Something.
He's a banner for
There's a
hobbits.
banner for the hobbits.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And if you finish in base contact on a 5+, he gives back a resource.
Yeah.
So
Exactly what this list needs is more resources.
Mm.
I mean, if you're willing to spend a turn with Boromir, say just stand next to a pony on a 1 in 3 chance of getting a point of might back, go ahead.
Well, Or can I just say you just have Leggy just doing his deadly shot in base contact with Bill, and you're just blowing might whenever you want to.
True that.
Yeah.
1 in 3 turns, you'll get a point of might back. But even
Not to give my opponent any tactics, but
no.
that seems. If I was a sniper in Middle Earth, that's where I'd be, putting my sniper's nest right next to Bill the Pony as he passes me an apple or a carrot from his satchel.
As the players can tell, I'm very dark on Bill the Pony, and also hobbits generally. But look, if it brings everyone else and this person joy, who am I to judge?
Yeah, it's Sharky Moffat over here.
Having old Samwise paired up with a great eagle for his free heroic combats is pretty cheeky as well.
Even yeah,
You managed to get that combo off, and then
10 turns in. and the Hobbit's
slingshotting an eagle away.
Powerful stuff.
then old Took's your uncle.
And Will Whitford's your mayor.
When are you putting Samwise Gamgee and an eagle into one model?
Great skill, Sam.
I'm sorry, I don't see the use case for comboing an eagle and Samwise Gamgee into one.
When you've killed all other 49 models from the Assault and Lothlorien list.
When you've killed the
You're
other
away.
16 watchers.
It just feels like a safe bet, right? Like if you're gonna chuck an eagle in and you got Sam there, you may as well chuck Sam into that combat.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Why
if you
not?
got Sam there, you might as well. Will I bring Sam just for this combo? I'm not sure I would, but if you
When,
you might as well.
When Silverton's actually really close to engage because he doesn't have a horse, you just chuck those two in. Obvious.
Then he gets peeled by one of the 17 watchers, and then you're in trouble.
I mean, it's actually genius because he would have lost his horse to Legolas anyway. So they've saved 10 points, 15 points. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's another watcher right there.
Look, I mean, maybe
I think this looks like the most fun list we've seen so far. This looks like a genuine blast to play with.
Yeah.
It does a lot of fun. Yeah, true.
Too much fun.
Outside of a Legolas Gimli type list, I think this is the next type one.
Healthy
And I
Wharganui
think
measure.
that might be the last list.
Is it the last one?
I think it is.
Wow, wait.
Yeah, we're all done. Delightful.
Wow.
What a list to end on.
What a list to
Favorite
end on.
list.
We'll just go look at this again.
A true hero. A true hero.
How many watches?
It's like I genuinely think someone's wrote their list just to put in one annoying thing in every possible slot they could have just to trigger me.
17 watches of Kana. When you buy
Two
it, so
crossbows.
when you buy like a little blister of watches, there's 3 in there, is that right?
Yes, I'm saying that someone specifically has taken one Kana out and one half troll out and was like, no, I'll keep these. I won't paint these.
But
That's
when you buy a blister, do they come with arm options, or is it like 2 are melee and 1 is bow or something?
No, they sort of both have 2 swords and a bow all in one sort of thing.
They do? Okay, cool. Mad.
All right. So other than
Inspired.
stones and crossbows, what else have we learned about Wharganui?
There's a river.
The fact that we got both assault lists is absolutely revolting.
And beers.
This is George and Denny's first time at a Wharganui tournament, I think. So
Denny tried last time and saw the list review and decided to go catch COVID rather than show up for the event.
Not even going to disagree with that.
Yep. There weren't any elves for his little themey Razgush army to go beat. And then who goes and wins finals again? Razgush?
Little themey Razgush army. Good we ding.
Right. Well, I've had a lovely time reviewing these. I'm looking forward immensely to this tournament. Jenny is on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise to get away. George is in Bag End hiding under the ground. These are not stoked about what is going on here today. But I am.
That's just
And I
the
had
way
a
we
lovely
like
time
it.
reviewing, and I'm looking forward to the tournament. And
I'm
thank
very
you.
much looking forward to our drive up.
That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the drive up too. It's nice to cruise. And it's a lovely town. Coming in the night before and leaving the day after, just it's a lovely township. And it's a nice group of people to go and have a hot cup with afterwards. It's just lovely.
You have to beat the music that Michael played for us on our trip down to Hamilton.
What was it?
It was not digga-digga-digga.
Right. Okay. I've got a lot of great taste in music, so I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be great fun.
Wonderful.
He's modest too.
A lot of Ukrainian sort of dance music at the moment is what my current vibe. So we'll get you into that. Some real good stuff.
All right, I'm interested. You piqued my
Well, thank you for joining me, Connor and George, and also Barney the Dinosaur. It's been a pleasure to have you all here.
Excuse me, Barney's purple, actually. So
sorry.
I would know. I've
What's-
watched a lot
What's the
recently.
green one? Baby?
I can possibly
not
tell
Baby Bop. No, it's the
Let's end this. Let's end
little
this.
dinosaur. Anyway,
We need to go deep into the lore.